Welcome to Ordinary to Badass. Whether you're ordinary or badass, I'm so glad you're here. This is the podcast to help women lead louder in rooms that were not built for them. Have you ever been scared to walk away because you didn't want to look like a quitter? Today's debrief is your permission slip. We're flipping the script on what it means to quit and why it might be the most powerful leadership move that you ever make. So let's go. If you're loving this podcast, head on over to iTunes and leave a 5-star rating and review, or hit the 3 little dots on your episode and share. You can either copy the link or just hit share and share it with a friend. We want other badasses that are just like you to find the show. All right, let's get.
Be confident, be bold, be authentic, but don't forget to take action. This is Ordinary to Badass, where our stories empower women to step into the spotlight of their own lives and pursue what they're truly passionate about. It's time to step into the arena and become more than just extraordinary. It's time to become a badass with your host, Marie Sonneman.
Welcome to this week's Badass Debrief, the solo follow-up episode where we don't listen, but we take action. That's what differentiates us from the others, right? We're badass. We're not afraid to take action. I take that back. We feel the fear, but we take action anyway. Remember, this podcast is all about stories and strategies to help women lead louder in rooms that were not built for them. And sometimes that means learning to walk away from the rules, the relationships that no longer serve you. So here's your gut check. Have you ever stayed in something, a job, a relationship, a role, longer than you should have? Just because you didn't want to look like a quitter? Yep, been there, done that. But what if the most badass thing that you could do is to walk away? Let's get into it. Last episode, episode 386, we talked with Doris Jackson Shazier. Go back, listen to that episode. Right now, I want to talk about a quote that she said that hit me hard. Sometimes quitters win. Mic freaking drop right there. Do I need to say anything else? Sometimes quitters win. She said, sometimes we walk through the wrong door and then fight like hell to stay there, just so it doesn't look like we made a mistake. But here's the truth. Quitting, it isn't always a weakness. Sometimes it's the strongest move that you can make. I think we get so stuck with this battle between our ears, right? And we're all in our head about all the things. And we worry about what it's going to look like to the outside if we were to quit, if we were to give up on something. But if it's not something that you're excited about or passionate about, then maybe it is time to quit. Maybe it is time to give up. There is a strength in that. It's like, why keep doing something that just doesn't work? I remember forever ago, I was in like a long-term relationship. We'd been together like 8 years, and there was a couple times where we broke up and got back together. And one of my mom's friends had said, a leopard doesn't change his spots. And it's right. But every time we got back together, it just kept prolonging the inevitable because eventually we did break up for good. And I could have saved myself a whole lot of time, a whole lot of energy, a whole lot of wasted relationship drama. Not that it was a hugely dramatic relationship. I'm just saying, like, I could have ended a whole lot earlier and had the same solution, but just moved on a whole lot quicker. I'm not saying I regret it. Life happens. Things happen for a reason, right? But if we're just hanging in something to hang in something, like I put so much time and effort into it, I got to hold on to this so hard. Maybe you don't. Maybe the strength is walking away. So for me, like I just said, I've done this in relationships. I've done this in jobs where I've outgrown them. And I mean, this is probably no shock since I work in law enforcement. I value safety and not uncertainty. And so sometimes it's easier for me, or it feels easier, to stay in the safe environment as opposed to going out into the awkward, scary, wild world, right? The devil you know as opposed to the devil you don't, right? So a lot of people will stay stuck just because of that. And I think I've told this story on the podcast before, but I remember hearing I was in a relationship that I needed to get out of, and I heard I was at a martial arts convention, and the speaker talked about a dog sitting on a tack. So the man walks by the house and hears this dog just whining and whimpering, and he sees the owner next to him not doing anything. And so he's like, "What's wrong with your dog?" And he's like, "Oh, he's sitting on a nail." And he's like, "Okay, why doesn't he get up? Why doesn't he move?" And the owner was like, "I guess it doesn't hurt bad enough." Shot to the heart. I remember I heard that, and it was when I was in a relationship and was completely unhappy. Different relationship than the one I told you about before. Yeah, it's a thing apparently. No, I'm kidding. So anyway, that hit me, and I remember thinking like, I don't want to be the dog sitting on the nail. I don't want to keep sitting in this uncomfortableness and in this pain just because it doesn't hurt bad enough, right? Just because it feels more comfortable where I'm at than to do something different. Are you sitting on a nail in your life? Is there somewhere maybe you need to make space or make a change? Just something to consider. Sometimes in our life and in our work, we are in a space that was never designed to support us. The longer that we stay in those spaces, the more we lose sight of what it is that we actually want. So, Doris, when she was on the show, she reminded me that quitting isn't always giving up, it's getting honest. Sometimes quitting is the brave, the strong thing to do. So, the mic drop takeaway that I had from Doris's episode is sometimes staying is a risk. If a situation doesn't serve your growth, your mental health, or your calling, walking away isn't quitting. It's leading yourself. And then sometimes it's kind of crazy. Like when you decide, you make a decision to walk away or to do something for yourself, it has a domino effect. I'm like, wait, I thought I had domino around here, but man, I don't know. I thought it was sitting on my desk. Okay, guess not. But yes, sometimes it has a domino effect, and then other people start making those changes too. You don't have to say anything to them. You don't have to tell them to do it. They see you making change, and they're like, yeah, I want to do that too. So you lead yourself, and then by effect, it leads other people. So here's a reframe for this week. What if quitting isn't failure? It's strategy. What if quitting is how you clear the way for the thing that's actually aligned with your values? So, a mindset shift for this week is leadership isn't about having all the answers. It's about knowing when to pivot, pause, or walk away. So, say it with me. I don't stay just to prove a point. I move to make one. I love that. I don't stay just to prove a point. I move to make one. So, move with me. So, this week's challenge, where in your life are you holding on? Because you don't want to look like a quitter. This week, I want you to ask yourself, if I was fully honoring my worth, would I still choose this? If the answer is no, maybe it's time to make a bold move. You decide. Oh, and if you do make a bold move, then I want to know about it. Tag me on Instagram at ordinary to badass. You can throw it in your stories or just DM me. If you don't want me to share it, I don't have to share it. I will ask you for your permission. But bold moves here. Come on, badasses. I want to hear them. At ordinary to badass on Instagram. Make a move. Tag me. And if this episode hit hard for you, I want you to grab my free guide, Breaking Barriers. You can go to ordinarytobadass.com/barriers. It's packed with tools to help you lead louder without losing yourself. Don't forget, hit me up on Instagram at ordinarytobadass. Let me know, what are you done holding on to, or what bold move are you making this week? Before we go, I'd love for you to send this episode to the woman you love who's afraid to let go. Remind her, she doesn't need to shrink to survive. We're done playing small. We're building our own rooms now. Until next time, keep showing up, keep speaking up, and never ever stay small just to seem strong. You were born a badass. And with that, we'll end our show. To all the badass women out there staying in the arena, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, own it and get after it.
Now that you've listened to this episode of Ordinary to Badass, we want to hear from you. Go to our website, ordinarytobadass.com/podcast, and submit your own experience on how you took your life from ordinary to badass and get the chance to be on a future Spotlight episode of the show. That's ordinarytobadass.com/podcast. While you're waiting for the next episode of the show, wipe off the sweat, dust off the dirt, and get back in the arena.